Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Reata Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown. I'm very excited to be with you here today on Motivational Monday. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you got some rest or had some fun or had made some memories with your friends and family. Whatever you did, I hope it was a wonderful weekend. And today for Motivational Monday, the horse that I'm riding right now, this is Raleigh. And Raleigh is a 3-year-old half fjord, half Frisian horse, the mare that came to me 3 weeks ago. She came to me 3 weeks ago, so she's had 3 weeks of training, and this is the start of her 4th week, and she's going to be going home to her with her owner the end of this week. We're going to do a ride with her early Saturday morning, so I look forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to her owner learning how well she's doing. She's just come a long ways in just 3 short weeks, and going to go a lot further in the next week or so. And today for Motivational Monday, I was thinking about something my dad told me yesterday. He told me a short story about what happened to him and the herder up in the mountains. So my dad, many of you know, we have a ranch, or my parents have a ranch up in Colorado, southwestern Colorado. It's Reata Ranch. That's where Reata Horsemanship comes from. And at Reata Ranch, my dad, every week during the summer, he packs mules and horses and rides, and he packs supplies and salt up to the herders and the sheep. So we have 2 sheep herds up high in the Colorado Rockies, and so he takes supplies and salt up there. So the supplies are for the herder, anything he might need, whether it be gloves or a coat or all the food that he needs or anything, batteries, whatever it is. He takes it up there, packs it on a horse and mule. So he has usually 3 or 4 mules and then a lead horse usually, and then rides a horse as well. And he usually takes somebody with him now. He used to do it all by himself, but now, it's a little safer to take somebody with him. But at any rate, he also takes salt up to the sheep. And in this particular week on Thursday, so he goes up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So he spends 2 nights and 3 days. And in the future, we're going to be doing our Colorado Rocky Mountain horseback riding, sheep herding, and camping adventures up in those Colorado Rockies, where we're going to go and see the sheep and see the cattle and show everybody what we do up there in the Colorado Rockies. Well, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, my dad on Thursday morning woke up to, that was the day they're supposed to move the second camp and then come home, and he woke up to heavy rain and lots of fog. And it was raining so hard and so foggy that he actually wasn't able to move the sheep camp. And not only was he wasn't able to move the sheep camp, but the herder also lost the sheep that day. And look behind me here. The herder also lost the sheep that day. Sometimes when it gets really foggy up there, you can get lost very easily, and the sheep can get lost very easily. So even though occasionally the herder could hear the sheep and occasionally he found some tracks, for about the full day, he could not find the sheep. He was kind of lost, and the sheep were lost. And it was relatively challenging experience for him. And my dad actually wasn't able to move the sheep camp until the next day. Well, the sheep just meandered off and got lost, to the herder at least. They probably knew where they were, but the herder could not find them. And so later on in the afternoon, the fog finally cleared up, and the sheep herder found the sheep multiple miles and a few mountaintops away, and was able to gather them all up, count all the blacks. The black sheep are the ones we count to make sure all the sheep are there. There's about 1 black sheep per 100 ewes. And so if we have 10 blacks, usually it's about 1,000 sheep. So there's over 2,000 sheep up there, and the herder found them all and eventually brought them back to the camp. And the next day, and it cleared that night, the next day my dad was able to move that sheep camp to a different location to fresh feed, and so the herder and the sheep could have a fresh location to graze on. And so for Motivational Monday, I wanted to tell that story about the herder who lost the sheep in the fog, and I wanted to relate it to our lives. Many times in our lives, we have goals and we have ideas about how things are supposed to work out, and how what we want to achieve in life, whether it be in our personal relationships or in our business. our work relationships, whether we're employees or employers, and everything in between, everything that we think we want in life. Sometimes fog sets in. There's a lot of rain and fog sets in, and we lose track. We lose track of we don't visibly see what we're trying to achieve, and we don't see those accomplishments. We may be trying really, really hard, but we're just not seeing the results. We don't see them for the fog. And so eventually that fog will clear. Eventually that fog will clear. There's some gnats around. Eventually that fog will clear. The rain will clear out. The sun will shine, and we'll be able to see what we're looking for. So the herder was looking for the sheep, and eventually he found the sheep. He had a goal in mind. He had a purpose in his life that day, and that was to find those sheep. And he kept looking, even though he couldn't see the sheep. He could hear them occasionally. He could see signs occasionally, but he could not see them for the life of him. He could not see them, and he felt lost, and he felt like they were lost. But they were there. They were there in the fog, and they were hidden in the fog. And just because he couldn't see them didn't mean that they weren't there. And many times in our lives, we have goals and we have dreams. We have somewhere we want to go, and we can't see it, but we know it. We can see it in our mind's eye. And as long as we have the image in our mind of what we want to achieve, as long as we maintain that image, and then we keep going forward, keep moving forward, and keep trying to actually see and find those sheep, or see and find those goals, the fog will eventually lift, the rain will go away, the sun will come out, and we will find them. Now, if he had stopped looking for those sheep and given up and just gone home, the sheep would have been lost forever. But they were lost, they would have spread out all over, they would have split up, they would have been killed by bear and mountain lion and coyotes, and we would have lost a lot of sheep if he had not continued to look for those sheep. So even though he couldn't see them, he kept looking for them. And that's what we need to do in our life. For Motivational Monday, I wanted to encourage you to have in your mind's eye an image of what you want to accomplish in your life, whether it be personally or with your relationships, or with your any spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical growth that you want to achieve in your life. Make sure to keep that focused in your mind, even if you don't visibly see it. Keep it focused in your mind, and eventually that fog will clear, and you'll find what you're looking for, and you'll achieve great things in your life if you'll just keep going forward and keep trying, keep looking, even though you don't see what you're trying to get. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, be thankful, live with purpose, live with passion, and as always, stay safe in the saddle.